Welcome back. Let's continue now. Small Girl Rising presents Umthendeleko. It's a long table experience that offers an intergenerational introspective space to explore and traverse the intimate systems of the divine black feminine, whilst actively working to play and rediscover the power of collective memory. So through the lens of indigenous healing practices, Umthendeleko honors the legacies of those who have walked the path before us, the unnamed queens, the politicians, grandmothers, whose contributions deserve recognition. Poetry and music serve as mediums for healing, sparking conversations across generations and also raising awareness of silenced histories. So joining us this morning to tell us a little bit more, bilingual writer, editor, Poet Qhali, and poet and cultural curator, Afrika wa Mokgathi. Good morning to the both of you, and thank you for joining us at this hour.
Thank you. Morning.
This is needed. This is definitely, exerting agency, re-establishing agency, and allowing a story to come through. That story of the world's incomplete without this version. So let's delve into the importance of the movement, the rising movement, and how this came to be for both of you.
I think Small Girl Rising is derived from, or we've borrowed from Vangile Ganju's poem, Small Girl Rising. And just the poem itself, it carries so much weight and honesty about a woman who wants to propel, in every sphere of life. And as 1/3 of Small Girl Rising, it was befitting for us to speak about issues of women, gatherings of women. It used to happen, when women would gather, tell stories and all of that. But now has changed, and for us to be gathering as women in modern day, how do we talk about healing, beyond the physical, and also delving into African spirituality through poetry, through music. It could be drumming, it could be through research as well. And it is us introspecting as women and saying, come, let us sit together, let us introspect together. For me, it is from that place. Poetry is my medium of choice.
Yes.
And I draw from women who are called Mokgathi, great aunts, who would relay, our family lineages. And this vehicle speaks to me. I'm not too far off. When Small Girl Rising was happening, I was like, this is where I see myself, relaying the stories. And I love working with women. It makes it easier. I know people don't believe it much, but I love working with women. It's nice.
Qhadi, let me bring you into the conversation. How did you get involved? Umthendeleko, talk to us a little bit more about, what people will also experience should they become part of this. I mean, we're looking at the medium of poetry as well, and its ability to heal, transcend, evoke. What do you want people to walk away with on that front?
I think we came up with this word, or not, we didn't come up with the word, but we said this 2 days ago when we were rehearsing for Sunday. We want people to exhale. There's so much inhaling, there's so much holding your breath. We want people that we come in communion with, which is what Umthendeleko intends to do, to be in communion with people. We want people to walk away having exhaled.
And when you decided to become involved with the movement, I mean, what did you notice was missing? What were some of the own inertias you had to overcome within yourself that's contributed to this collective healing space as well?
I wasn't healed. I was looking for healing. I think, I don't know, I speak for myself, but perhaps we constantly are looking for healing. But this intergenerational conversation, which is what we like to call it, this intergenerational conversation that we keep on having through performances and workshops and activations, it made me realize just how much I wasn't healed. And through our poetry and interactions with other people, I was more aware just how much I hadn't healed from, whatever I had gone through.
Looking at the state of South Africa and the world over, our intergenerational trauma, the way the country was founded based on trauma and violence as well. And I wonder, as a South African, as a Pan-African woman, looking at the diaspora, the trauma that exists, what are some of those narratives that you'd like to rewrite, reframe, restore agency at large?
We've been here before. The names of women in the margins of history is to uproot them through this movement, is to put them on the pedestal, on the light, to say you are worthy. Women in the struggle, they never sat on the sidelines. They were side by side. This movement speaks to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And if people want to obviously be part of this movement, be part of, just what's going to unfold from here and to, I mean, this is probably going to start as a conversation starter, and the ripple effects are going to open up so much more. And so it's important to keep it going, right? Because you don't just want to open up something and not have that ongoing support. How do you intend to manage that going forward?
a gathering of women. It's a conscious thing. We see that via Stokvel, and I think having a Stokvel of having a long table, at the sister's house, it's where we see ourselves. When we were touring in the US, last year this time, we found community of women who are willing to converse, and I think that's where we see this movement traveling. We're headed to Ghana, next week.
For my birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday in advance.
So it's there to find a community of sisters, to know that you have a couch in every city in the world, and sister who can hold space for you. Yeah.
Where do people purchase tickets, and where is the event taking place? I mean, punt that a little bit more for us, for us who want to get involved.
It's in Pretoria, in Hatfield, this Sunday on the 12th of May, on Mother's Day. They can purchase tickets on Quicket.
Yeah.
Okay. It's at Botagi, Botagi Bar Afrika. Yeah, starting at 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock. But you can also find us on social media. You can find more on social media. The link is on our social medias. But yeah, you can get tickets on Quicket.
Ultimately, what can people expect at the event, just as we conclude? So what is the day going to entail?
Play.
Like that.
Play, music. We've got a female DJ. We've got a female saxophonist. We've got a female pianist. We've got 3 female poets. We encourage people to come with their mothers, their children. You're going to walk in and there will be games to play. You can paint, listen to a female DJ playing in the background. Then we'll have music, and we'll wrap it up with our poetry performances and the conversation.
Absolutely, which is just, as you said, it's just going to serve as a conversation starter, because there's going to be more. I'm going to leave the conversation there for now. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of this rewriting our narrative as women and restoring agency at large. We commend you for the work and wishing you all the best of luck for your future endeavors as well. Bilingual writer, editor, Poet Qhali, as well as poet and cultural curator, Afrika, Mokgathi, speaking to us about the Small Girl Risings, Umthendeleko, which takes place tomorrow again at Botaki Bar Afrika in Hatfield, Pretoria. Qhali will be back shortly with a performance, so do stay tuned for that.
Kan bizenu mama vele ndionakalelwa, bizenu mama vele ndionakalelwa, ndionakalelwa yo, ndionakalelwa.
2 cubs in my hands, one with open eyes, the other asleep. I'm placing them in my mother's palms, tougher than mine to shield them. I'm going to the mountains for a while, where 2 old women wait for me, outside a green hut, guarded by brown horses on top of a hidden mountain, overlooking an old river full of queens and secrets. The 2 old women will only watch me as I build, with hands covered in manure to cast walls to find me. And I will sleep only to visit the elders. But I will wake each day despite the urge to stay on the other side, to save my children from a life without rivers and mountains and quiet and snow and a mother. I will wake each day despite the urge to stay on the other side, to build a home in Solabeng, so I teach my children what is in a name. So a life of color is not that of complexion. So a life of wealth is not that of the tangibles. So a life of wealth is not that of the tangibles. So that each click that comes out of my mouth has a root with a home they can call their own. I have been missing for a while, long before this trip. Sometimes a mother needs to return home to be a mother, because sometimes this place can make you forget how to be a human.
How to feed a child and be nowhere else. How to look at a child with open eyes. Which turns you took that cut wires in you because you are on an edge and the mind is screaming and they are screaming and the world is screaming. And if you say one more word or take one more wrong turn, whatever colorful string is holding your body together with your soul will unravel. I'm going back to Tolobeng, back to my ancestors' land, where truth and sanity wait in whispers.